Okay, so this is my Mazda Scrum with an Suzuki F6A engine. It's failed the compression test, which I'll show in a bit, but we're going to start taking stuff apart to check whether it's valves or piston rings. I did add a little oil during the compression test and the compression went up, but still not enough that I would call it good. So I'm not really sure which it is yet. But so we're going to start by just taking off a couple things like 1, 2, 3 hoses. Looks like there's another hose in the back. Then we've got a couple bolts holding this valve cover on. I've already got the spark plugs out. Got those off with a regular 5/8 inch spark plug socket. Okay, so we got the valve cover off. So it was a matter of there was a screwdriver Phillips head here. There were 4 10mm bolts. Probably just easier if I show you on here. So there were 4 10mm bolts that had to come off. There's a Phillips head screwdriver here. There were 3 just hose clamps here that all came off. And then here was the 4th hose clamp, which had to be done with another 10mm. It was sort of a weird one, is this guy, to loosen it and pry that off. And so with the valve cover off, the next thing we need to do is we're going to do a leak down test. And before we do that, we have to find top dead center. So I have a plastic straw here. You want something long that you can get down in through the spark plug hole, so that way we can find top dead center after we rotate the crankshaft a bit. And the next step in order to get access to this crankshaft, which is over here, is going to be we're going to have to jack the vehicle up, put it on jack stands, and remove this rear right wheel so we can get to the cover covering the crankshaft. Okay, so we're working on removing this serpentine belt cover so we can get access to the crankshaft. So there were 2 10mm bolts here. There was a Phillips head here. There's another 10mm bolt at the base of the engine oil dipstick, so it's going to have to be removed so we can pull the dipstick out of the way. Once I do that, I'm going to put a rag in there just to stop any dirt from falling into the crankcase where the oil is. And there might have been some extra bolts that have stripped off or come off on mine, so there might be a couple other 10 mils. But after that, we should get this case off, and then we'll get to the crankshaft pulley. Okay, and now you guys can see we have access to the crankshaft pulley. This is also the alternator and air conditioning compressor. Anyway, so I've got a 17mm socket on that, and here's where you're going to need a second person. So one person is going to rotate the crankshaft pulley right there, while the other person is going to have to watch what's happening in here. So we need top dead center, which means we need the straw to be the farthest out as possible, but we also need top dead center on the compression stroke. And so what that means is we need the piston to be all the way up in this cylinder, as well as the valves to be closed, so we can do our leak down test. Because basically what we want to see is we're going to pump compressed air into a closed cylinder and then see where the air is escaping. And so there are 4 options: either down piston rings and in out through the oil crankcase. If there's a cracked head, it could get into the coolant, or it could get out of an exhaust valve or an intake valve. And so anyway, so back to the finding top dead center first. So we want the straw or your object to be as far out as possible, but you also want the valves to be closed, which would mean during the compression stroke. So what you can do is, as the one person rotates it, watch the valves. So here I've got 2, so per valve I have 2 intake valves and 2 exhaust valves, which are back there. They're right under the rocker lobe. So what you want to see is, as you're spinning the crankshaft, and by the way, you should be rotating it clockwise because that's the way that the engine moves. So you'll see your straw object moving down. And at the same time as it's moving down, if you see the intake valves also going down, which means the intake valves opening, that means that you're on that intake stroke, because the cylinder's moving down and the intake valves are opening to let that fuel and air in. So then as you keep rotating, once the straw then starts moving up, you know that that's the compression stroke. And so that's the stroke that you want to be on for finding top dead center with the valves also closed. So you want to, again, watch as the straw goes down and the intake valves also go down. Then you know you're on the first stroke out of the 4. And then as it starts going up, you know that's going to be the compression stroke, and you just find the highest point of the straw, and that's top dead center on the compression stroke. Kind of funny, but this is probably the only car where you can find top dead center with this method with only one person. So I got a super long extension on the 17 mil, and I'm able to crank it and be here and looking at and feeling the straw at the same time. Anyway, I just found top dead center all by myself. Fairly proud of myself for that one. So now that we found top dead center, we need to add compressed air to the cylinder in order to perform the leak down test. So I have a pancake compressor right here. There are portable tire compressors, and what most people do is take this attachment that came with the compression tester, because it should either screw into your spark plug hole or have that adapter, so that way you can feed air through this, feed compressed air to perform the leak down test. Take note that there is a Schrader valve at the bottom of this that would have to be removed. So my issue actually though is that I have no real good way to attach this. Obviously I could use something like duct tape, but the collet size here versus the one on any of the compressors I have are different, so I cannot get this to lock into my compressors. So here's what I'm going to attempt to do instead, rather than, obviously I could buy an official leak down tester, but in the meantime I also happen to have a smoke detector. And so what I've done here is so luckily my spark plug socket required an adapter on the compression tester, and so I just electrical taped the end of the smoke connector to that adapter. And now I did a real good tape job here, because you don't want to get this stuck in that socket and not be able to get it out, and I just barely threaded in. And so now what we're going to do is we're at top dead center, so we're going to attach our smoke machine directly to the cylinder of concern, the one that failed the compression test. We're going to turn the smoke machine on, and we want to see where the smoke eventually comes out. So the valve should be closed, but there could be a valve problem. So it could come back out the intake, so we might see that on like the air box, or the intake valves right here. It could come back out from the exhaust valves right here, or you could see it out the tailpipe, or you could check your engine oil fill right here, so we could open this and look for smoke coming out. Or lastly, if there's a cracked head, which hopefully this is not the case, because this would be worst case, but you could check where you have coolant. I hope you guys can sort of see that. But yeah, there's your coolant fill is on the passenger side of the vehicle. So we've got our smoke machine in cylinder 3 while it's at top dead center. It's running. You can see a little bit of smoke coming out right here. This would eventually be from the PVC, but if you look over here, there's quite a bit more coming out of the exhaust. So likely we have a broken or stuck exhaust valve, which is what I was hoping for, because that's easier than the piston rings. To confirm my theory, I found top dead center on a cylinder that passed the compression test. I put the smoke machine in it, and it got so pressurized that it actually started coming right back out of the spark plug hole, and you could hear it like sort of squealing, whistling as it came out, because it really couldn't get its way out any of the valves. There was nothing coming out of the exhaust, and what did come out was like squealing its way past the spark plug hole. So I know I've got something wrong with the exhaust valves on cylinder number 1, or whatever, we'll just call that cylinder 1. And so now we gotta probably take the head apart. First I'm gonna look into valve adjustment, but we're gonna probably have to take the head apart to work on that. So now that we've finished the leak down test, and we've determined that there's a problem with the exhaust valves, before removing the cylinder head to get a better look at them, what we're going to do is check the valve lash, which is the spacing between basically the rockers, which are like these guys, and the camshaft lobes. So I'll include some pictures that will be helpful for reference for knowing when you can check them, and I'll also just talk about it. So the exhaust valves need 0.1 millimeter spacing, and the intake valves need 0.08 millimeter spacing. These both assume that the engine is cold, which it should be. Then you need this, which is a feeler gauge, which just has basically pieces of metals of varying thicknesses. So you can see I've got 0.1 millimeters, 0.04 millimeters. And you're going to check the spacing. So you basically slide it in between, so this is like a feeler gauge in the exhaust spacing. You guys probably really can't see it, but this is obviously a very small one, and it slides in pretty easily. And you keep going to the biggest one you can get, and that will be the spacing that you have. So I've already checked my exhaust spacing on cylinder 1, and luckily for me, it's too small. So instead of the 0.1 that it's supposed to be, it's more like 0.05 millimeters, which makes sense that keeps the valve stuck open, which means that I have no compression. So I'm going to go through, adjust it. First, I'm just going to adjust the 2 exhaust valves on cylinder 1, but then I'm probably going to adjust all of them. So what you do is you just put a wrench on these guys. So this is the tappet. This is how we're going to adjust it. You're just going to loosen this nut so you can adjust, and then you turn counterclockwise to, that would be to raise the lash, and clockwise to lower the lash. And then you just retighten to 112 inch-pounds when you're all done. And every small movement you make, you just check with the feeler gauge again until you get to the desired lash. And then we're going to do the leak down test one more time and hopefully have improved results. I went ahead and bought an actual leak down tester instead of the smoke machine. It was about $100 on Amazon. Worked really well, but it told me the exact same thing. So now I guess this probably be a second video at this point, so look out for a second video.